Welcome to Knowledge Hub. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. For over a century, the Panama Canal has been a vital shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific, saving ships from the long, perilous journey around South America. Each year, goods worth hundreds of billions of dollars, cars, electronics, food, fuel, move through its locks. The canal is not just a convenience, it's an essential artery for global trade, with many ships built specifically to fit its dimensions. Its 2016 expansion allowed even larger vessels, boosting capacity and efficiency. But beneath this reliability lies a critical vulnerability. The canal depends entirely on fresh water. Every ship that passes through drains millions of liters from two artificial lakes, Gatun and Alajuela, which rely on Panama's rainy season. Historically, rainfall kept the system running smoothly, but in recent years, unpredictable weather and severe droughts have threatened the canal's water supply. When lake levels drop, authorities must restrict ship size or limit daily crossings. These measures disrupt global supply chains, delay deliveries, and create uncertainty for businesses worldwide. The world's reliance on this single water-dependent route has become a glaring weakness. As climate change intensifies, the canal's future as a reliable trade artery is in question. The stakes are high, not just for Panama, but for the entire global economy. The world is now forced to consider, what happens if the canal can't keep up? In 2023, a historic drought hit Panama, dropping water levels in Gatun and Alajuela lakes to record lows. The Panama Canal Authority slashed the number of ships allowed through each day, creating a massive maritime traffic jam. By August, over 200 ships were stuck in line, some waiting weeks to cross. Shipping companies faced a tough choice: wait and lose time, or reroute thousands of miles around South America or via the Suez Canal. The result: delayed goods, soaring costs, and global supply chain chaos. The crisis exposed just how fragile the world's trade network is when it relies on a single choke point. Suddenly, the search for alternative routes became urgent. The drought was a wake-up call, forcing the shipping industry and world powers to rethink their dependence on Panama. The stage was set for new players and new routes to challenge the canal's dominance. The world's logistics map was about to change. As Panama faltered, China saw opportunity. Through its Belt and Road Initiative, China has invested in ports, railways, and infrastructure worldwide, aiming to reshape global trade. Latin America, rich in resources and long dominated by U.S. influence, is now a key focus for China. By funding infrastructure and forging partnerships, China is becoming a major player in the region. The Panama Canal's crisis fits perfectly into China's strategy. A new China-backed trade route would reduce its dependence on Panama and boost its global influence. Chinese companies, backed by state resources, are actively seeking to build or control new interoceanic routes. This is about more than shipping. It's a contest for economic and geopolitical power. A new canal or land bridge in Central America would be a symbol of China's reach and a direct challenge to U.S. dominance. The race for a rival to the Panama Canal is now a key front in the global rivalry between the world's two largest economies. The stakes are higher than ever. Nicaragua is once again at the center of canal dreams. In late 2024, President Daniel Ortega announced a new $50 billion canal project, this time with clear backing from China. A Chinese state-owned company has already signed on to build a deepwater port at Bluefields, the canal's planned Caribbean gateway. Unlike past failed attempts, this project has serious financial and political muscle behind it. The proposed route would stretch 445 kilometers, crossing rivers, Lake Managua, and rugged terrain to reach the Pacific. The engineering challenge is immense and the cost staggering for a country like Nicaragua. For Nicaragua, the canal promises jobs and investment. For China, it's a strategic coup. A successful canal would give China a secure alternative route for its shipping and a foothold in the Americas. The world is watching closely. This time, the dream might just become reality. But the risks are as great as the rewards. The project's fate will shape the future of global trade. Can Nicaragua and China succeed where so many have failed? Nicaragua isn't the only country offering alternatives. Mexico is building the Interoceanic Corridor, a modernized rail and logistics route across the Isthmus of Tehuantepec. Containers will move by train between upgraded Pacific and Atlantic ports, bypassing Panama entirely. With Chinese investment and rapid construction, Mexico aims to move over 1 million containers a year by the late 2020s. It's a practical, less environmentally damaging alternative to a new canal. Other ideas are emerging too. Colombia has proposed a futuristic maglev rail, while the US already uses its vast rail network as a land bridge. Even the melting Arctic is opening the Northwest Passage, though it remains risky and seasonal. For now, these routes are secondary, but they signal a shift in thinking. The world is no longer content to rely on a single choke point. The race for alternatives is on. Ambitious as they are, these projects face huge obstacles. Financing is the first challenge. 50 billion is a massive sum even for China. Attracting enough traffic to make a new canal profitable is uncertain, especially with the established Panama route. Engineering a canal across Nicaragua's rivers, lakes, and hills would require unprecedented excavation and water management. Environmental concerns are major. The route would cut through rainforests and wetlands, threatening biodiversity and water supplies. Local communities and activists have already voiced strong opposition. Political risks loom large too. US officials are wary of China's growing influence in Latin America, and any instability in host countries could derail projects. The Mexican corridor faces its own challenges: land rights, environmental impact, and competition from Panama. Experts remain skeptical. Will any of these alternatives ever be completed? The hurdles are daunting, but the pressure for change is real. The world is watching to see who, if anyone, can deliver. The scramble for alternatives marks a turning point in global trade. The Panama Canal's crisis shattered the illusion of stability and forced a rethink of supply chains. Whether or not a new canal is built, the mere possibility is changing how countries and companies plan for the future. If China backs a Nicaraguan canal, it could shift the balance of power in the Americas. If Mexico's corridor succeeds, North America could form a new trade bloc, with China still playing a key role. Most experts predict evolution, not revolution. Panama will adapt and alternatives will supplement, not replace, the canal. The future will likely be more complex with multiple routes and greater resilience. Competition could mean lower costs and more options for global trade. The race for a new canal is about more than infrastructure. It's about adapting to a changing world. Old certainties are fading, and the next chapter of maritime trade is just beginning.